My only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well for one, Saul.
Canelo's going to definitely ego kick in and want to do a rematch.
No, I don't know. I don't believe that. You know, I think the warrior spirit might want him to have a rematch, but I don't think the rematch is going to do him any justice, you know.
He has made it clear that he no longer wants to be a challenger. Crawford no longer wants to be the rival. He's now the king. If Canelo wants a second chance, he'll have to pay a price that breaks all records. It's not just a discussion. This is a move to gain power. And Crawford is ready to break Canelo's pride before the first bell rings.
It's no longer breaking news, but Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez are apparently in talks for a rematch in 2026. And my only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive payday, the first fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight. And if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. I don't think this is going to go very well for one, Saul. Like I said, the Ring Magazine reporting as of about 4 days ago now, I'm a little late to the news, but Canelo Alvarez wants Terence Crawford rematch, says negotiations are underway for 2026. Now, first off, I expect nothing less from Canelo. He wants to get that fight back because, well, number one, it's a somewhat advantageous matchup at 168 for him, and there's not many other matchups at 168 for Canelo right now that offer him any sort of advantages. He says, I want my run back, I want my get back, but I gotta be honest, I don't know how this goes well for Canelo in a
Terence Crawford is not saying no to a second fight. It's just a side question that comes with being king without question. We'll talk about why Crawford wants this record-breaking bag. Today, Canelo's own promoters are afraid to sign the contract, and there's a surprising idea going around that the talk of a rematch is just a way for them to save face.
You know, to Sergio's point, a lot of the people that I'm been talking to when it comes to this fight, they're not like, it's almost like the air was taken out of them. They're not excited about even the idea of a rematch, or the subject doesn't even come up. Usually the conversations are, hey man, is there a rematch clause? You think they'll run it back? What do you think will win? Like, people just, even casuals, realize that Crawford, he schooled Canelo, man. He really did. I don't think people want to see this fight. I agree with Sergio Mora.
Be at a smaller arena because people already saw Canelo get dominated by the better fighter, and the better fighter will do it again, even easier and with more confidence.
Están hablando de una revancha. Yo creo que es más fácil le va a ganar a Canelo.
¿Oh, sí? ¿Por qué?
Yo lo creo. Pues digo, es el estilo de Crawford, ¿no? Yo creo que Canelo ya le gana a Crawford.
Sí. ¿Hay algo que puede ser Canelo para ganar o para hacer la pelea más cerrada?
Bueno, pues lo que todos sabemos, ¿no? Yo creo que a entrar al intercambio de golpes y pues tirar más golpes, ¿no? Pero digo, ahora sí que es boxeo y realmente pues se preparan ya. Si Crawford le ganó una vez y supo cómo ganarle, yo creo que puede ganarle nuevamente, ¿no? Pero digo, no hay nada escrito arriba del ring. Digo, puede ser que una buena estrategia Canelo y pase diferente, ¿no? Pero realmente yo creo que, pues digo, trae ganas y trae hambre Crawford, y digo, pues Canelo ya hizo lo suyo, digo, ya no es lo mismo, pero digo, con que aprender una buena pelea es más que eso.
September 2025, knowing he would get paid more than $100 million. Even though Crawford was the best boxer in the world, he took the B-side money, which was almost half of it, so he could have a chance to show himself. He showed it.
Canelo Alvarez quit their first fight in September 2025 knowing he would get paid more than $100 million. Even though Crawford was the best boxer in the world, he took the B-side money, which was almost half of it, so he could have a chance to show himself. He showed it.
But you hold on. You keep saying this.
Hold up. Canelo, see, this is the thing about Canelo. He sometimes relies on the environment, the hostile crowd, to also help him win this fight. Not only with the judges, but with the opponent. Crawford even handled that. You know, you can't prepare for that magnitude, the roar of the crowd, the lights, everyone booing you. You can't prepare for that. Crawford was ready for that. Even his ring entrance, when he came in with that guitar case, it was, man, that's one of my all-time favorite entrances.
Desperado, yeah, it's an homage to Desperado. Yeah.
Actually, it was Mariachi. That was part one. Desperado was part two. That right there, It was me against the world. That was his mentality. Me against all these Mexicans. Me against Canelo in Las Vegas. Me against Canelo and the judges that he probably has in his pocket. Me against everyone, and Bud shut everyone up. And you think
but
Canelo's
hold on.
Canelo's going to be able to do it the second time around?
I don't know. I don't think it's an open and shut case as you.
Let me ask you, live ticket sales at Allegiant Stadium for the fight were an amazing $45 million, showing that the world was just as interested in the challenger as it was in the Mexican celebrity.
Some may argue he's the greatest Mexican fighter. He's the most successful, accomplished Mexican fighter in boxing history. And Canelo is 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford essentially jumped up 2 weight classes, 3 weight classes, technically 2, and beat Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo, after the fight, said he had no answers. But Canelo was the undisputed champion, so he had a rematch clause. And as I told you guys in the video I did, Terence Crawford is contractually obligated to the rematch. So Bernie the boxer, he reveals that Terence Crawford is demanding that he gets the lion's share. Now, it was reported the gate did over $45 million, close to $46 million. Gate. It also sold 65,000 people in the arena at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And so with that said, Terence Crawford was dominant in that night. Canelo got 150 million reportedly, and Terence Crawford got 50 to 70 million, right? And so now Terence Crawford wants the roles to be reversed, as he should. Now, keep in mind, Canelo signed a multi-fight deal with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, okay? That's guaranteeing him a specific amount of purse. So Terence Crawford is saying, listen, I came out on top, as he did. I'm the victor, as he was, right? It was very successful, not only just because of Canelo Alvarez, but because of me as well, as he's right. And so I demand and I deserve to get paid heavily. And as he should.
These days, Crawford is using his success to make money with cold, hard reasoning. The case for his team is easy. If you lose the fight, you don't get the winner's share.
That there is a more marketable fight out there for both these guys than running it back once again. Your plan to have him drop down to 160 and fight Erislandy Lara is stupid. Canelo Alvarez is not going to move up to fight David Benavidez now at 175. There's nowhere to go. Like, Crawford could still try to conquer 160, but who is putting up real money for that? Canelo has already cleaned out the 168-pound division. Besides Terence Crawford, where else is he going to go? I just think the more time passes, the more we get away from the outcome of this fight, that's when people are going to start to realize that doing it one more time is in the best interest of both these guys. And for boxing, by the way, because that's another big event that you could put on the calendar.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes.
You're pretty stupid for a smart guy, especially when it comes to matchmaking. Crawford is without a doubt the undisputed super middleweight king. He has the power, the bragging rights, and the belts. He wants the roles to be completely switched around. Canelo has to take the B-side pay if he wants to fight again, while Crawford gets most of the $100 million, a choice between two bad options that hits Canelo where it hurts the most.
See, Turki Al-Sheikh understands that Terence Crawford's value is extremely high. And he'll be 39 this September, right? So, again, he deserves to get compensated. Now, the question is going to be, is this rematch going to sell enough? Well, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh truly don't really care about the purses, right? He just wants great fights. But is it going to garner the money to pay out those purses? right? That's where the question lies. But Terence Crawford deserves it. And he's demanding that he gets $100 million, as he should. As he should. He has more to lose than Canelo Alvarez. And he can get a legacy fight at middleweight to now, I don't want to say pad his stats, but to pad his stats. If he competes at middleweight, right, and becomes undisputed at middleweight, that'll make him a 4-division undisputed champion and a 6-division champion overall, right? He has more to gain than Canelo Alvarez, right? And he has more to lose.
And it's not because they want to save money. People thought that Canelo was too strong for a middleweight moving up before the first fight. That illusion was busted over and over again. Eddie Hearn, who is one of the most powerful people in the sport, has been very open about the idea of a second fight. He was caught making it sound like a repeat is a bad idea by saying that Crawford would ruin the Mexican star stylistically.
Going to get beat by, I was going to say young, sharp guys. Terence is 38, isn't he? I mean, it's unbelievable. 38.
Crazy.
You know, I heard Shakur saying last night that he says he thinks he should and will retire from the sport. But I don't know who else is out there for Crawford. I mean, he's only going to want to fight for 20, 30, 40 million. But who is there to fight for that kind of money? I'm not sure, you know.
The rematch, you think the rematch would be of interest?
I don't think Canelo will want a rematch. Yeah. I think there's a rematch clause. I don't know, but
there's not. Yeah.
So, you know, it's very unusual for Canelo to go into a fight without a rematch clause.
Yeah.
But for me, I just can't see Canelo going, yes, I want to run that back.
You know, the truth is that the first fight wasn't a lucky punch or a close winner. The whole thing was taken apart. Crawford showed Canelo that he couldn't handle better side-to-side movement and switch hitting accuracy. Not only did Canelo lose, he looked like he had lost. His supporters are now in a terrible situation.
Hey, yo, peace to the family. I just got through looking at a video that Bernie the Boxer shot. Shout out to my man Bernie over there in Omar, man. Bernie the Boxer. Shout out to him, man. Bernie, pretty much, as you guys know, Saul Canelo Alvarez is being reported that Saul Canelo Alvarez wants to fight the rematch with Terence Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford. Currently the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. So now, according to Bernie, now this is what Bernie said that Bud told him, according to Crawford. Bernie said that in order for, if Canelo want that rematch, he got to get paid $100 million. Meaning, Bud got to get paid $100 million. Now, and guess what? I told him the same. It's amazing that Bernie said that, because I told Bud that prior to Bernie coming out saying it publicly. I'm like, look, according to what y'all said, what we heard, Canelo got paid $100 million or something of that sort to fight Crawford. Crawford reported that he only made $10 million. But I'm telling you, he made more than that. You know, he made way more than that. You know what I mean? It's being reported also that Crawford made $50 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. And I'm saying, okay, look, and he was the B-side. Now that Crawford is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, if Canelo want to run it back, guess what? Crawford got to get the 100.
They can use the rematch clause, but they know that in 6 months, nothing will have changed in terms of style if they pay $100 million. They are essentially paying for their star child to be embarrassed again, which could end his career as a top draw for good. They can't do anything because they are stuck. They can neither avoid the repeat and look weak, nor can they pay a lot of money to lose and look stupid.
Again, it's up to Turkey. Whatever Bud can negotiate, that's fine. But guess what? And I know Canelo's the bigger draw. That ain't the point. The point is you lost. He lost to the small guy, the guy that moved up from welterweight, beat you. You know, he showed that he was levels above you, Canelo. So now guess what? He needs to get levels above you paid. That's just the reality of the situation. He made 50 his last fight. You know what I mean? I know he said he made 10, but it is what it is. They say he made, you know, from what I've learned, he made 50. And Canelo made 100. And then now, guess what? They need to flip it. If Canelo want to make 100, fine. No problem with that. But guess what? You got to pay Crawford 100. The $100 million man. Let him see what it feel like to get paid $100 million. It's as simple as that. If Canelo want that fight again with Crawford, if Turk Al-Sheikh tell him, look, you know, Canelo, we only have 150 million for this fight. You know, Crawford wants 100. If you want to fight him, take 50. See what Canelo says. And if Canelo believe he can beat him, take that and beat him. You get what I'm saying? But it is what it is, fam. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. I hope Bud get his money. You dig? Catch you guys on the next one. Leave your comments below. You know my motto. Don't beat me there, beat me there. Peace.
Talks are going around inside, though, that the whole discussion might be a trick. A well-known person in the community named Bernie Thaw Boxer has been closely watching these shows and recently came up with a shocking theory. He says that the rematch rumors are mostly false and based on online hype, and that Canelo has no plans to face Crawford. This point of view says that the fuss is meant to keep Canelo's name in the news while they quietly look for an easy way out.
So cleanly on Mexican Independence Weekend that it's just like Canelo's gonna definitely ego kick in and want to do a rematch.
Nah, I don't know. I don't believe that. You know, I think the warrior spirit might want him to have a rematch, but I don't think the rematch is going to do him any justice. You know, I don't see no cause for no rematch the way Bud handled him, because Bud handled him in every which way. You know, he never got buzzed. He seemed like the stronger guy in there, and he the one that hurt this guy. So there's nothing that we can say that will warrant a rematch. I think Bud won so clearly. I thought he damn near won every round. You know, I seen that Andre Ward and Max Kellerman, which kind of pissed me off. They gave him, in a sense that, not pissed me off like that, but I didn't think he won the 5th round. I didn't see him doing nothing much in the 5th round. They was making the 5th round like and if he keeps doing that, then he might win the fight or do. I didn't see him doing nothing much in the 5th round. You know, I didn't see that. So I don't think that there's no warrant for a rematch. Crawford handled him easy, pretty much. Easy. He made it look easy. And I'm not going to lie, you know, Crawford going to say the gracious things on the camera, or Crawford's going to say gracious things on the camera. But did I get those feelings when we, you know, he's showing a lot of respect as a fighter for fellow fighters. But if we want to be blunt, man, it was easy. You know, he didn't have no trouble in it.
Hashtag interview 11. Bernie went even further and made a controversial link that has his supporters furious. His win over Canelo was even more impressive to him than Floyd Mayweather's famous masterclass against him in 2013.
You never seen it, because usually he probably scorned you. He probably have disdain for you for running. You know, like, this guy, he don't want to fight. But with Crawford, he was just like, where am I going with this guy? Where am I going with this guy? You know, I don't, everything I'm trying to do, he's taking it away from me. The pull counter he did, the looping shot that I showed, like he doubled the left hand up, then he turned it to a loop. He missed the first one. I think Canelo got out the way or blocked it, but he kept the punch going and turned it into a loop and caught him with a great shot. And the angle and the torque that he had on the shot spent his head. The angle and the torque that he had spent his head. So you know the power that he had to have to anchor the shot, man, and the agility that he showed. So like I say, Crawford making up punches. You don't even see guys doing stuff like that.
Crawford, on the other hand, beat Canelo Alvarez, who was older and had more experience. If this reading is right, it explains why the talks about a return don't seem to be going anywhere. It's clear to Canelo that the master who beat him was much better than Floyd, and having that powerless feeling again is not worth any amount of money.
Would want that rematch. I mean, if anything else, Canelo, when he loses, he always wants to run it back, man. You don't think he would run it back?
No.
Well,
I don't think that like it's not because of his heart, because it's because of his guts. Like, he want to do it, but there's no way he can win that fight. He cannot beat Crawford. He can't beat him. And he was trying. I was watching that fight. When Crawford was punching, he was punching when Crawford was punching. He was throwing to the body when Crawford was going to the head. You know, he was trying everything he could, but then he didn't have no answer. And he said that, I just didn't have no answer for him. So there's nothing going to change about Crawford, you know, unless, you know, something dramatic happened where he heard something and it was something like that. But far as a Crawford as full, who gonna beat him? Nobody can.
One of the few things that Canelo's fans agree on is that Crawford might look old or rusty in a rematch because he doesn't fight very often, but that hope is quickly fading. People say that Crawford lived a very different life than most fighting stars today, which is why he lives so long. Not only does he not party, he also doesn't gain weight. Reports from his team say that he stays in boxing mode all year, playing basketball, wrestling, and shadow boxing even when he doesn't have a fight planned.
Guys will always be like, I stay in the gym, I'm not rusty, blah, 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 whatever. And then fight night comes and they rusty as hell. Like, how is it that Crawford is able to fight one time a year, have a big fight, not even like tune-up type of guys, and it's just like, it's like this dude he's never rusty. Like, how is he able to kind of do that?
Because Crawford is always in boxing mode. He's always playing something. He's being active. So he's not just sitting around rusting away. He's always shadow boxing, or he's always wrestling with somebody, or he's always playing basketball. So he's keeping his you know what I'm saying? If you playing basketball, you keeping all your, your alertness up there. You running up and down the court. You bumping. I'm saying you're using your physical strength in there, muscling your way to the rim. Like I say, stay shadow boxing, and that's just it. Crawford stayed doing something. So
his reflexes get faster, and his mind works faster because he is always getting ready. On the other hand, Canelo has been fighting in hard wars for almost 20 years. It's clear that his body has been used and strained. He is keeping an eye on his odometer as it gets closer to the danger zone while Crawford works on his engine. It's not possible that stalling talks for a few months will help Canelo and hurt Crawford, because Crawford is moving up in weight class and Canelo's health is getting worse. The gap between them is actually growing.
His master, his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, he go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, and I feel like
all the dots, and I feel like based on how people are reacting on social media, Canelo Alvarez's mystery has been shattered. On sites like Reddit and Twitter, lots of fans have said very clearly that Canelo is done at the highest level. The feeling is not only that he lost, but also that he was easy to deal with. The fear that Canelo used to bring to talks is no longer there. A lot of people think that a rematch would only be about making more money, like a last-ditch attempt to get paid before the fight. The video for today is now over. Remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you liked it so you don't miss any more videos. Remember to leave your thoughts in the space provided.